Well, it was homecoming weekend for the Liberty Flames, but the Kennesaw State Owls swooped in and stole victory from Liberty here this weekend. 42-28, the final score. Alongside Matt Camiri, my name is Nick Pierce as we recap this one. And Matt, the Flames got off to a strong start here tonight, but Kennesaw State and that triple option offense, they did some heavy damage here, holding the ball for more than 38 minutes of game clock.
Nick, you're exactly right. I mean, I think it was 38-38 for Kennesaw State's on their time of possession. And we saw, like you mentioned, the first drive for Liberty took the ball right downfield. They had 56 rushing yards on that, and that's a key statistic because we talked about that as being a key point of emphasis for this game, as Liberty had to get the rushing offense on point and get it going tonight early. They looked like they did on that drive. Kennesaw State does what they do with the triple option offense. Kept the ball, ran the ball. I think they threw 2 passes or 2 completions out of 9 attempts.
Right.
So they did exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and the Owls, or the Flames rather, as you said, came out early on as we take you back into the first quarter. First possession for Liberty. The Flames capped it off with a touchdown run from Carrington Mosley from 1 yard out. That put Liberty up 7-0. And, Matt, a lot of plays on that drive to the outside. The Flames were gashing the Owls' defense.
Yeah, they were absolutely running to the outside, a lot of outside zone type of runs. They also had a great tempo. We've seen that their tempo, when they go up tempo, the Flames are very successful. Carrington on that drive had 7 carries for 46 yards. He was very successful throughout the night, and then it seemed like they might have just hit a wall.
Yeah, but after that, it was all Kennesaw State. The Owls came right back on the next drive, capped it off with a 2-yard touchdown run from Darnell Holland to tie the game at 7. Then next possession, early second quarter, we fast forward. Darnell Holland again, this time 63-yard scamper to the house on a busted play.
Yeah, Darnell Holland, we saw where Kennesaw State was most successful, and that's where Darnell Holland was getting outside around our ends. We talked about another key of the game was containment, keeping those guys inside. When Chandler Burks had the ball in his hand, he was very successful in getting the ball outside, pitching the ball. We did see a couple fumbles, but they cleaned that up and were able to connect, and that's where we saw Darnell Holland take off for that 63-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, 63 of his 84 yards coming there on one play. Kennesaw State would add to the lead with a Shaquille Terry 26-yard touchdown run inside of 5 minutes left of the second quarter. That put Kennesaw State up 21-7. And then just before halftime, Matt, how about this acrobatic play from Justin Sumter? 4-yard touchdown pass from Chandler Burks, and somehow stays in bounds.
Justin Sumter made a great play on the ball. He's obviously their number 1 receiver, their top pass catcher. They don't throw many passes, but he's that guy for them. Chandler Burks put the ball where only Sumter could catch it. And if it was any better of a ball, I don't think he would have gotten it because the defense, the cornerback on that side, had a great blanket of coverage over top of him. It's just a better play by Sumter to come down with one hand and secure the ball in his chest.
Kennesaw State would score again in the second half. Let's move forward now, 35-7, KSU with the lead, but here come the Liberty Flames. Buckshot Calvert finds B.J. Farrow from 7 yards out with a touchdown pass with 7 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, B.J. made a great play to get loose in the end zone, find an open spot. It was sort of a scramble for Buckshot because he had some pressure on his backside, was able to get out to the right and found B.J., who, like I said, found a soft spot in the defense, was able just to sit down, and a good ball by Buckshot to get it to him.
Yeah, and the Flames were able to continue to cut into it here with a Carrington Mosley touchdown run. 11:32 to go in the ball game this time. That gets it to a 2-possession game, 35-21. Flames come back a little more than a minute later. A 30-yard strike from Buckshot Calvert to Antonio Gandy Golden. All of a sudden, it's a 1-score game, Matt.
It was an interesting few minutes during that latter part of the game. Antonio Gandy Golding was able to get across the middle. We saw that Kennesaw was sort of in a zone-type look. He was able to split the defense and found another soft spot, but he never let up. He never sat down. He just kept running. Great ball by Buckshot Calvert to get it to him on a strike, and he was able to take it in for the for the touchdown.
But the Owls would come back, and on a 4th and 2, late in the fourth quarter, able to convert, keep the drive going, and then would wind up scoring on this big run from Jake McKenzie of 30 yards, 42-28, and that was just too much for the Flames to come back from. Kennesaw State now extends its winning streak to 5 straight. The Owls are 5-1. Flames with a loss fall to 3-3. Afterwards, we caught up with head coach Turner Gill and some of the Flames players.
Well, we had our chance. We just talked about it at halftime there, just to go out and play hard and put yourself in position. Everybody do your job and do the job to the best of your ability, then that'll give us a chance. And so they did that. They responded the way I wanted them to respond. as far as in the second half. But again, we got so far behind in the first half, we didn't play up to our potential. But again, I'm proud of the way they are. And again, we'll learn from this. We'll bounce back, and we'll stay together as a football team and continue to improve. We had a lot of second and longs in the second drive, the third drive, and the fourth drive, put us behind the chain, and so it wasn't advantageous for it. And then they got rolling on their offensive side of the ball there. So it was mostly us self-inflicting ourselves in our execution. So we got to do a better job getting our guys coached up, and they got to be able to execute to the best, better than they did here in the first half. Well, they played just the basic cover 2 coverage, and we just ran our plays that were best against our cover 2 coverage, and we were able to execute it, and they stayed with it. And when, again, it just came down to execution, and our guys did that, and we were just a little bit too little too late.
You know, first half we couldn't execute, we couldn't move the ball, and you know, we just got that second fight in us, and we came out, you know, running the ball, making plays downfield, and you know, it just so happened to didn't have enough time. We came out of halftime, you know, defense, they talked to us, we talked to them. You know, Captain Solomon McGinty really gave a good speech during halftime, and, you know, we came out fighting, but, you know, it wasn't good enough, and, you know, we'll learn from it and we'll get better.
We just got to regroup, man, and, you know, just trust each other. You know, don't get into a point where we're listening to things coming from the outside, because it's going to come. We just have to believe that we can do it, and we know we could do it, so we just have to be better for the rest of the season.
All right, Matt, we've heard from the players, we've heard from the coach. You look at it, the final stat sheet, some areas not too pretty here for the Flames defense. 498 yards rushing allowed here tonight, over 500 yards of offense for Kennesaw State. The Flames did have some good things in spurts offensively here tonight, but overall, when you leave your defense out on the field like that, that's asking a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Like you said, you know, Kennesaw State had 38 minutes of total time of possession, which is just
10 of 17 on third down.
10 of 17 on third down. They converted 3 of 4 on fourth down, including that huge one for in their last drive of the game. Just really hard to play defense when you're on the field for that long. And those guys were getting gassed in the end of the second quarter. They were getting gassed, and we saw the coaches try to rotate them out. It just really too much for them, it seemed like tonight. The offense, we did see some promise in some few spurts, and we've seen that before in this team, and we know they have it. It's just sustaining that throughout the entire game, and I know that's something they're going to take into tomorrow's meeting when they watch the film and then start game planning for Monmouth.
Yeah, Monmouth is next on the schedule. The Flames will fly north to New Jersey to take on the Monmouth Hawks next Saturday. And the Flames will get their first look at the newly renovated Monmouth Football Stadium as well. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to hopefully getting back in the win column. So that'll wrap things up for us here tonight from Williams Stadium. Again, tough loss for the Flames here on homecoming weekend. Final score, Kennesaw State 42, Liberty 28. For Matt Camiri, my name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.